Borg Brain coming back at you with another educational blockchain video. This video is on Binance Smart Chain Exchange. And if you try to say that 5 times fast, well, it's probably not going to turn out very well for you at all. This is a project I covered when I first started, making videos and putting them on YouTube, which wasn't that long ago. It was under a month ago, about a month ago. Okay, so I have an old friend, colleague, person I kind of helped out. And he was like, man, this thing's cool. And I was like, yeah, I don't care about Binance Smart Chain. I don't care. I don't care. I was just on ETH. And then I was like, man, ETH gas fees are out to launch. He was like, man, I was telling you. Anyway, like, I went and checked it out. I had a tab open, and like a week later, I checked it out. And then a little bit late, I was like, oh, there's something interesting here. And then I was early in making videos, and I was just like, I just need ideas. And I just made a list. And honestly, I did a video on this because I was like, I think it's just going to be easy. And I had some kind of like free value in this Binance Smart Chain wallet I had set up from this project, True Seigniorage Dollar. I got an airdrop, which is the whole reason why I ended up in the ecosystem in the first place. But anyway, the point is I did a video and then said I would try to come back to it. And now I'm doing this, APE in BSC series. And so my plan is basically I'm just going to go around a whole bunch of projects and just like keep covering different projects in Binance Smart Chain until I either get sick of doing them or I don't know. I I might um I might do another, like 5 videos or 6 videos and just be like, okay, you know what, that's enough on Binance Smart Chain all in a row because I feel like I'm just, I is it too many videos on the same platform in a row? I don't know, but I just feel like a lot of people are here, so it's just I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people are coming here. A lot of people are experiencing a bunch of these things for the first time, so maybe I should just provide the content. But I will be soon moving on to Mirror and onto Kusama, and I want to take a dive into XDAI and Matic and try to taste the rainbow. I was also looking into the Street Fighter NFTs today, and I was looking into NBA Top Shop. This is a Top Shot. I might cover those too. I kind of, it's the whole point of this series is so I can push myself outside of my comfort zone. So basically, I'm going to keep doing Binance Smart Chain videos until I feel like I'm getting comfortable. And then I'm going to do, I don't know, some big like recap special after I've made like, 10 or more videos in a run of a few days, just doing marathon. And then I'm going to move on to some other stuff. And then maybe I'll come back and do like a revisit special, like a week or two later. I don't know. If there's anything interesting or ape-worthy on Binance Smart Chain in between and stuff, if there's anything, I'm gonna just keep making videos. And I feel like I should be making even more videos than I'm making. Like I'm not doing enough, but like man, like I released 4 videos today. And recorded. I don't know. I've been recording like multiple videos a day, and a bunch of the last few have been like an hour long because I talk too much. I just talk too much. But I guess, in this sort of podcasty kind of video format, uh, yeah, someone who just can talk a lot, I guess, is good. The videos are long. It just takes longer to render them, and it's more of a pain in the butt. But anyway, listen. So here it is. I'm revisiting Binance Smart Chain, and I'm doing it from the more of the mind of an ape. A little a little AP here. But anyway, with that, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. Be safe. Have fun. You know, uh, this is. I'm an anonymous person on the internet, and I'm literally telling you, like, I'm just doing like crazy stuff in Binance Smart Chain, just like whatever, just because it's just like a fun ecosystem and whatever. But it's, like this is this, none of the stuff I'm covering in here is like, it's none of it's Polkadot, right? It's not Bitcoin. I don't know. It's there's tiers of this stuff, but there's something about these guys that I really liked, and I'm gonna get into it now in a second. Um, and then we're gonna have a look. I just looked briefly, and then I was like, maybe this might be actually like really crazy. This might actually be like next level. It actually maybe just might be. Okay. And then as always, this Crypto Society YouTube channel, like, follow, subscribe, I don't know, whatever, come find me on Twitter or something, find the group in Telegram, and, it's a nice group of people. I think you might like it. Um, yeah. All right. So launch pool. So I was in here and I'm like, wait, wasn't there a thing down here? And then I'm like, oh yeah, Z Seed. And I remember oh no, what is this baloney? I was uploading a video when I started recording this to YouTube because I'm trying to do a few things at the same time, but like a couple of the keys are going on my keyboard on my computer, and you know, trying to like render a video while recording a video, it just seems crazy. My last video just seems like I might actually have to bin it. Might have to bin this one too from the looks of it. So anyway, maybe what I'll do is I'm just gonna use the power vested in me to turn the sands of time and bend time and space to my will. And in when I count down from 3, the spinning wheel will be gone. All right, so here we go. Mr. Magic. 3, 2, 1, disappear. Oh my god. I can't believe it worked. All right. Um anyway, where was I? Um yeah, I know they were talking about the Z seed, and there was some community kind of back and forth, a little bit of arguing. Like they were like, "Oh, Z seed, Z seed," and then a bunch of people were like, "Who gives a crap about Z seed? Like it doesn't even matter." And then whatever. And I was farming it, and I think it was like $2, and then it was like $4 or something. I was like, "Oh, it's going up," and then I like look again, and it's like $1.50. It was like 2.20, and I don't know, something like that. And I sold, and I think I broke even or even lost a little bit of money, and I was just like, like whatever. And oh my god. So when I had opened a tab and I was like, I should cover this again. It was earlier and it was like $21, just like a couple hours ago. And I got tied up with editing a Secret Networks video and uploading it. And then I was like, recorded another video. And then that video, I was like, I'm going to go to sleep. But then I had like a glass of water and ate. And then I was going to actually go to sleep. And now I'm like, oh, I should do BSCex because I was like, man, the token's just going gangbusters, and let's have another look. So I had a little look, and they got the sewing network here, which is a launch pool X. Then you got swap X, and I decided to go in a little bit deeper. So I opened up the Google, and I got this, and I was like, yeah. And I went through the website. I was like, where is it? Where is it? I remember seeing pictures like this. Like they're like, oh, but we actually like we just have a simple kind of a sort of Uniswap or Pancake Swap sort of fork. Not so much Pancake Swap, more like Uniswap, fairly simple. But underneath it, it's actually an aggregator for a bunch of dexes. Okay, so it's actually pretty smart. But then they're like, oh, well, we're going to have a platform like this. We want to bring all the services of Binance to a decentralized kind of exchange platform. And I was like, man, if they can launch that, I remember in the video, I was like, if they can launch that, that would be game changing. But now I'm like, oh man, but with Binance Smart Chain where it's at right now, if they launch this and it's an aggregator of all the other like major exchanges on Pancake on Binance chain, like not just Pancake Swap, this could be like really crazy. So, but then I just kind of forgot about it and I sold the tokens. And then, of course, I come back and I'm like, oh my God, like, oh my God, it's like everything I sold on Binance Smart Chain just like went up. And this is not me trying to tell you you should, buy this or buy that. I'm just like, oh, like, you buy low and you sell high. You don't, you know, buy low and sell low, right? It's like the opposite way of doing it. And I thought the train left, but then the train evidently did not leave when I sold. And so this time when I'm doing this series, this marathon series of APE in BSC, I'm gonna do the whole thing, and then I'm just gonna like not look at any of the prices for like several days, and then I'm gonna do like a recap video, and I'm just gonna kind of go through some stuff and then decide whether or not I'm gonna pull liquidity in a couple things or sell a couple things, and then just kind of make a decision of whether or not that was like a good week for aping. Just like not showing you like, oh, you should buy this token or that token or whatever, just sort of showing you how to do the things. And then if you were interested in, say, just being more ape like, or thinking like the crowd more, or just taking more, just looking at this stuff in a more playful way or a more like risky or ridiculous way, and just know what you're getting yourself into, then the, this is sort of a bit of the series is sort of a bit on the ape brain. and and discussing that, in sort of a transparent way, because I think like human nature and like social momentum are like, these are significant things, and there's value there, and there's like, when you see a lineup outside of a club and you see another club and there's no lineup and you want to have fun, and you go look at the club with a lineup and you're like, well, that looks like a lot of fun. You go wait in line. Well, like, then you're just waiting in line. Is waiting in line fun? Waiting in line sucks. Okay? And then you see the other club and there's no line, and you don't go in there because you're like, no, I'd rather wait in line than go into a club and have fun, which was like the whole purpose. And like sometimes when you go wait in the line, like when you actually get in, it was worth it. But a lot of the time, I would say most of the time, and I'm not someone who goes to the club, but once upon a time, I went to a couple clubs. And the point is that the club with no line was often far more fun than the one with the line. And the one with the line, I would end up spending half the time outside just talking to my friends. Then I'd pay some ludicrous sum of cover and be forced to do a coat check for more money, and then go buy a very overpriced beer, and then it would suck. And sometimes it was really fun, but I don't know. Looking back, how much time did I waste sitting in lines? And I think the whole ape phenomenon and being a degen is about kind of exploiting or trying to take advantage of the human nature that leads people to go wait in a line instead of just going into a club where there's no line and just having a cheaper beer and like having actual fun doing what you were planning on doing, instead of just like waiting outside, freezing your ass off, waiting in a line for like an hour for, because it's more fun. So anyway, this is a little article talking about BSCex, and it's interesting. They talk a little bit about the DEX in here and kind of explain it. So they have the cross liquidity layer, but then it's a volume aggregator. So they're bringing in bakery swap, burger swap, pancake swap, and some other AMMs are all kind of plugging in to the BSCex, the BSC exchange. But then they're like, oh, the BSCex will come. But this was a month ago and it's still not released. This is interesting too, right? I'm like, man, if oh yeah, so this is governance. So I think governance is still up. But then eventually I was Googling and then I found this page and I was like, why couldn't I get to this page? Because when I was in this page, I was trying to go back. What I wanted to see is this page, but I wasn't getting there, even though it's this page. But somehow I missed it. So it comes down here and it's like BSC, kind of Uniswap fork. And they got it for mobile too, as it looks. And then the launch pool. And the launch pool is where we're going to go today. And then this one, coming soon. So it's supposed to be for mobile. It's supposed to be for whatever. Hmm. So there is a GitHub. Let's just go down the tunnel just a little bit further. All right. So, I mean, let's go back to this. All right. So we want to ape. We want to ape. We want to have an ape brain. So ape brains like high APY, 2,000% APY. That's the highest one. So we're going to do that one. We got BNB. We're going to get some Z seed, and we're going to create liquidity pool tokens, and then we're going to stake them here, and we're going to earn 2,000 APY. 2,000% APY. That's exactly what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to go to SwapX. And as that's loading, let's go have a look at the GitHub really quick. 11 days ago, 13 days ago. Uh, I mean, like, there's nothing in there. That doesn't look the best to me. Let's check the Twitter really quick and see if there's where there's smoke, there's fire. But that's not what I should be doing at all. I shouldn't be looking at that because true apes don't. You know, true apes don't mess around with that kind of stuff, right? They don't go looking at GitHub. You ever see like a gorilla, just walking through the jungle, and then you're like, oh, what are you doing there? And then they turn around and they have like a calculator in their hand, and they got a little like, you know, little netbook, and you see they got a terminal window open, and they're running Unicode. Did you ever see that? Because I haven't. So I don't know why any self-respecting ape would ever go into GitHub to check anything. But if you want to do real research on projects and you want to see, oh, is the development team active? How active are they? You go into the GitHub and you look at the activity, you know? So something's going wrong. I don't know why, but we're there now. And so what I'm going to ape with? Before I aped with one BNB each, but then I realized that BNB was worth like 250 bucks, and I was like, oh my god. Like, that's so much money. It just didn't expect, the market cap was so high, I just didn't expect it to jump that high that quickly. And I just saw it, and I was like, oh my god, like, that's crazy. But anyway, here we are. Let's go in for zero point 0.5 BNB. We'll go have 50-50, zero point 0.5. And I think that's plenty enough for right now. I'm running out of BNB. I'm going to have to put more funds in this account. And I mean, I went in with a chunk of money, and like the purpose was to do these ape videos. And these ape videos are like, they're not supposed to be, I'm not really supposed to be laying down significant money in them because they're supposed to be fun. And then I'm playing around with it, and then like I'm bought BNB tokens. I mean, I guess if I get all the LP tokens back from whatever I put in, just because BNB went up so high, if it stays high like this or goes up further, God forbid, then when I pull it out, I think, even if the other stuff went down at least 50% across the board or more, then I think I'll probably still come out like okay at this point. Sometimes it's like Ethereum, you do all this trading in Ethereum, but like sometimes you just look back and you're like, if I just bought and held Ethereum and didn't do anything else, then I would have maybe done better financially. But when you just buy something and you hold on to it in crypto, like, there's a very strong benefit in that. And I do have positions where I buy it and I hold it and I'm never selling, you know? But can you really replace like the the human experience of like of doing things like that? Oh, that's interesting. So that one went through Pancake Swap. really interesting. So they got Thugs Bakery. Thugs is apparently doing a rebrand too, so maybe I'm gonna check them out. Um, I'll probably check them out tomorrow. I'll just put them on the list. Boop boop boop. So hmm. So I wanted to make where was it? Launch Pool X. I wanted to make liquidity pool tokens and put them in that farm. But I'm looking here and I'm like, well, where's the liquidity pool tokens? So maybe it's somewhere else. Anyway, let's go over to Twitter. I feel like Twitter is like it's like too clean for a degenerate ape. You know, I get a hair under 10,000 followers. A pinned tweet from December 26th. They got 19 minutes ago. Soteria. Hmm. Interesting. Maybe I should start clicking on random things. So $100 million was their goal, and we make it. $1 billion they want to make it. That's lofty. Their market cap has surpassed 100,000 or $100 million. Like, wow, that's wild. Hmm. Okay, 2 hours ago they said 10 hours left before they open ZD liquidity mining pools. So that's an 8. So maybe I gotta like, you know what I'm gonna do? I was gonna go to sleep, and from right now I got about 8 hours. Pardon me. So I got about 8 hours. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create liquidity pool tokens. I'm gonna have a look here really quick. I'm gonna create a couple of these liquidity pool tokens, and then I'm gonna basically stop the video, and I'm gonna wake up really early, and I'm gonna shoot out of bed, and I'm gonna start recording a video for this. So this one, BNB. Yeah. So how do I do this? Yeah. Huh? I hope this is where I. This is weird. I wanted to make the liquidity pool tokens. I was in the swap. I couldn't see. Um. Well, yeah. How do you make liquidity pool tokens? Oh, here. And here we go. Yes, crazy. $100 million. So, yeah, they got a new token coming out. And maybe this is the thing. What they're doing is they put out Z Seed, which is like the new BSCex token, and now they're putting ZD token out. And maybe that's kind of like the Goose Finance one, where they lay an egg and then they lay like a new egg and then they got a golden chicken. And every 2 weeks they release a new token for farming initiatives so they can have a really high APY, and it turns into a pyramid scheme. But I don't know. I think there's like room for lots of these plays, and as long as people keep coming into Binance Smart Chain, all of them will theoretically continue to go up. But then where's the real value? What I'll say is, um, this this would be really cool if they release this in Binance Smart Chain and it like works and it's more or less like not like totally like glitched out and janky. But if they can launch this, like holy shit. I don't see development in GitHub. But then you wouldn't necessarily see development in GitHub because maybe it's all private because they're working on the code and they don't want people to just fork it. And if I built something like this and it was wholly unique and on a new burgeoning platform, then I probably wouldn't want to leak it either. And if they've built the backend and they're aggregating a bunch of other exchanges already, then you know, could be pretty cool. So add liquidity. So yeah, where was it? Connect wallet. I should have my. Huh, what? It made me it connected to a different wallet again. I believe. I believe that's what just happened. And if MetaMask gets around to it, holy banana boy, why is this taking so long? I don't even know what to say. In the last video at the very end, I just start feeling like I'm gonna like actually just fall over from exhaustion. Like I'm so tired. And then when I came back up here, I was like, oh no, frig, ah, Binance, the BSCex token is going on a run. Jeez, I just missed out on like 50% gains in a few hours because I was like doing editing videos and stuff. I hope you appreciate these videos because it's like I get kind of like, you know, I miss out on a lot of opportunities basically. So it's wrapped BNB tokens. It's trying to tell me, but here it says BNB tokens, and here it says BNB tokens. So I'm gonna put down BNB tokens because that's what I have. Yeah, boom. There we go. Approve Z seed. Now if you've seen me do this before, I've done this in like, I don't know, maybe half the videos, explaining the concepts of, what a liquidity pool token is, explaining what impermanent loss is. So if you're making liquidity pool tokens, or if you're planning on making liquidity pool tokens, and you're doing it with anything that's beyond money that you're willing to lose, um, and essentially, look, like, to be perfectly honest, if you're making liquidity pool tokens anywhere, I would strongly suggest to not do it unless you're playing around with money that you do not mind losing. That's not to say that anything is a scam, it's just to say that front running bots and arbitrage bots and people playing arbitrage games and swing trading off a pair and, you know, and just impermanent loss in general. If you don't know these concepts or have a basic idea and understanding of what's actually going on, then you probably shouldn't do any stuff. You just buy some crypto and then, just hold onto it. But you should, stick with the, kind of really solid top tier projects like, I don't know, Polkadot and Atom and, Ethereum and Bitcoin and, so, stuff like that. Just some of the big ones. This is the only thing I would, invest in if I was afraid of losing money. Just invest in the most sure thing you can find, you know? Um, Something that's just the fundamentals are too strong. And there's too much like market confidence in it. There's too much proof of concept. There's too much work put behind it. There's too much daily volume, and the tools are too nice or whatever. Um, if you find it, you find it, and if you find it, then that's great. A lot of people, I would say, they don't find it. So we're gonna come down here and approve these LP tokens with the highest APY out of any of the pools again. And while MetaMask is thinking, you know, I would say there's so much suffering in the world, and sometimes like you turn on the news, and it's just It's just unpleasant. You know, I was thinking about it earlier. I was thinking, I was like, in my head, I just thought, all of a sudden, in the middle of, no, for no apparent reason, I just thought, Wolf Blitzer. And I thought about it. I was like, oh, yeah, that was a crazy name that guy had. You know, he's some news anchor, Wolf Blitzer. And I was like, in my head, I was thinking, was that guy like, did he, was that his birth name? I don't think it was his birth name. I think it was just like a stage name that he took on, and somehow he ended up on like CNN or whatever. But, you know, that's a really strong name, Wolf Blitzer. And, you know, getting back to the point that I was trying to make about, you know, a world of suffering is that I haven't had a TV in my house in years and years. And, you know, I'm not. I'm not planning on getting a TV anytime soon, and I basically almost never watch the news. And you know, I keep track a little bit about what's going on in the world, but I'm not. Oh, so did I do it already? Oh yeah, here. Total staked. No, that's not what I staked. What happened? Did it put me into a weird place again? Anyway, look, the point is that the reason why I don't watch the news is because when you watch the news, it's just like negative, negative, and sensationalism, and it's like terrorism and murder, and you know all this just horrible stuff, and all this like fear, and you know chaos, and these black and white arguments, and you know I'm not, you know I don't really lean like incredibly left or incredibly right in any like real regard. Um, I just think that it's it's not really, you know, the more you focus on these like hyper partisan platforms and divisive rhetoric, then I think the worse everything is. You know, I think it's almost like the more anxious of a person you end up being, and the more like stressed out you end up being, fixating on stuff that it's like you can't change it, and then it mostly is just. I think the worst thing about, you know, watching the news all the time is the more news you watch, the more distorted your vision of reality becomes. This is sort of how I see it. It's not the actual news items themselves, it's how the news is framed, and what news items are chosen to be shown, and in what order, and what rhetoric is used to describe them, and what flapping heads get to talk about it, and the opinions that are allowed to be showcased in describing a specific situation. Um, you know, I find that in my life personally, if I go out for walks more, and if I go ignoring most of the chitter chatter BS that doesn't actually, you know, change anything in this world, that I find the kind of happier I am. But man, what is going on? So I have no staked. I made tokens. You know, I want to get that APY, but MetaMask is just being mean. So it spent the stuff. You know, I am connected. Oh, that's weird. I'll just like reset. But it is the 0xDD. So I'm going to do this, and then um, after this, hopefully this goes through. The tiredness is really hitting me. I don't know if you can tell in the in the audio here, but you know, lots of suffering. But you know, it's like there's lots of stuff to be fearful about. I hear people tell me like, when should I cash out? When should I, ask me all these questions sometimes like, well, when do you think a good time to do this would be? I'm like, I don't know. Like, why are you asking me for advice on when you should cash out of a position? Like, do you think I can see into the future? Like, what kind of question is that? And like, I get asked these questions by people I don't know regularly. Like, don't ask someone you don't know for financial advice. It's crazy. Like, don't do it, you know? Don't base your financial decisions on what a stranger might or might not think about a specific thing. So I'm maxing out my LP tokens, I'm confirming, and now I'm going in with whatever that is, a couple $100 into, you know, this LP pool earning 2000% APY on some token that I don't know why it has any value. It is what it is. So we'll see where it goes, you know. This is the last transaction. This will be done, and then we'll see our staked pool tokens, liquidity pool tokens, LP tokens, liquidity provider tokens, or liquidity pool tokens. And we'll have a look at those tokens. And we'll see them sitting there. They'll just be snug as a bug in a rug. And us, the degenerate apes that we are, we'll see that 2000% APY, and we will all the way to the imaginary bank that may or may not exist depending on, you know, how all this stuff turns out. Because from my experience, you get a platform and there's utility. And there is utility. You know, I like what's really nice is that in this, they're aggregating multiple exchanges, you know. The point is, I see this and it's like, oh, there's promises. And I've seen these projects before. It's like, oh, here's a yield farming thing and here's a little whatever. And we have this promise. We have this big promise. And you're like, oh, cool. And you ape in, and then a bit of time goes by. And then when this promise just sits there as this promise, as just a screenshot, as just, you know, is this a user interface they were working on, or was this just a Photoshop image and there's like never going to be a user interface? Like, I don't know. All I can say is, I think it's most important to know from my experience that investors get bored and lose confidence, the price starts going down, and then things like this can collapse pretty quickly from my experience. But also, this is a unique time where there's hundreds of millions of dollars daily going into Binance Smart Chain at the current moment. So, you know, this is not Ethereum, and there's like a million projects to choose from. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, my tokens staked. I got 6 liquidity pool tokens staked, and I'm earning Z seed rewards. And that's it. And then I guess I'm going to give a little outro to the video right now. But what I'll say is, okay, so I'm going to do one of two things. I'm either going to restart the video in an edit and then kind of restart and 1, 2, 3, like restart the video, or I'm going to just unplug, and then I'm going to do a second video on this for when this new yield farm launches, because that's wherever it was here. 10 hours left before this. Here it is, the countdown clock. That's what I wanted. So 6 hours and 53 minutes. So yeah, I'm you know, basically, yeah, I'm gonna just stop now and then wake up and start farming immediately when this happens. I'm literally gonna set my, where's my phone? I'm gonna set my alarm right now. So I'm gonna make this a 2-parter video where I'm actually gonna sleep in the middle of the video getting recorded, you know, and then pop out on the other end and finish it. And I'm gonna yield farm this, and that will be the end of that chain of transactions. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna, 3, 2, 1, and go to sleep, and then I'll see you on the other side of this video, on the other side of time. It's Borg Brain going to sleep. Shh. All right, so I'm back here. Basically, what happened was I was waiting for it to count down. I'd woken up, my alarm went off. I had 35 minutes to get prepared, and then I realized that the token that I needed to farm at BSCex for their new launch pool uh, token pyramid thing. Um, and then I'm like, oh, I don't have any liquid BNB, and then I tried to use Binance Smart Chain. I tried to send something, and then it's just sitting around. And this is like literally, this is like 45 minutes later or something. And just so you know, Binance Smart Chain is centralized. It is what it is. And I have sent some USDT chunks so I can keep making these ape videos. And it ain't here yet. It's not here. And it's just like confirming. And then there's no way to check any blocks. So it might be, quote unquote permissionless, but it's not decentralized. Okay. My friend tried to send a sizable chunk of Ethereum the other day uh, from Ethereum into Binance Smart Chain, so he'd have liquidity to play around in some of the same stuff I'm doing in this series of videos. But when he did, it kind of froze up, and then it was like contact customer service, and he contacted people on Discord and Telegram and Binance and sent emails, and I was trying to help do it too. And you know what? It took almost 2 days, and this might be like Chinese New Year hangover because it kind of coincided with that. But the point is that it took him a couple days. He got his money back, but you know, it's centralized. Just so you know. So anyway, as I'm waiting for this USDT to come through, which I don't know if it is or not, it's not. And as I sort of did a bit of video, and then I was like, oh my god! And I realized I had 50 cake tokens sitting in this wallet. I don't even know what they were doing there or where they came from, to be perfectly honest. So here we are. The previous part of the video, I started farming this, but then I was like, no, but what about the launch pool? Because then it's like the countdown, and then we're coming down to um, where is it? Launch pool X, launch pool XV2. Okay, here we are. Okay, so this is the thing. So I aped into this, but then the problem is that they're not even showing APY, but the it's like this is there's supposed to be an APY. I aped into this one here because it had the highest APY, and then I come up here and then I don't know. So I'm just gonna say, so I aped into this one, but then I realized, oh my god, I've been recording this video, but then I realized I wasn't recording the videos. So I didn't sleep enough. I'm tired. I woke up early so I got to do an ape video, and then I didn't even hit the record button. So the point is, I'm waiting for USDT to come in. I sold some other stuff and then made the LP tokens here, and then I'm like, man, I don't I'm got low liquidity, and I don't want to be selling off other random assets that are literally staked in the yield farming things that I've been doing in this series of videos, because I want to do a nice long video where I kind of go into the different systems and I check the rewards, and it might even be a part one and a part two. I don't know. But the point is I want to go and check all the yield farms that I was yield farming, and I want to basically say, okay, my ape trip is done, and kind of pull the LP out from here and here and here, and maybe leave a couple things in, but kind of cash out of positions to just sort of end the Ape in BC series, and then sort of kind of look at where I'm at, and kind of say, okay, well, I'm going to keep this token, I'm going to keep this token, and I'm going to sell this and sell this, and then I'm going to just stack some BNB, and then I'm going to say at the end of the video something like, okay, well, now I've got a bunch of BNB, and then I'm going to use this for the next video, or something like that. But anyway, I guess the point is that um, I think I'm going to go for this one. I have a feeling this is going to have the highest APY, even though it's not showing. And farming is supposed to be started, but I don't even know if it's started yet, because this is the number here is saying the same. I don't know. Literally, who knows? So I got my wallet connected here. I got my, all of a sudden I got a bunch of BNB from this random cake I had no idea that I had. I literally don't know where it came from. Maybe I had 50 cake, and I I just don't know where I got 50 cake from. I don't know, but anyway, if I had some cake and I invested it in maybe I tried to invest it in one of the the, the pools in Pancake Swap, but it bounced, and I thought I did it in one of my previous videos, but that's what happens when you're being an ape. So I'm going to buy one BNB worth of uh, ZD once it, you know, figures this out. Oh, I see. I'm trying to pool. Swap. Swap X. Yeah. I hope they actually release this. Um, I hope it's not just an image that they're, to talk about that they want to release a thing. I hope they actually do release it. But who knows? They certainly have enough money at this point in locked value and in token value between their Z seed, their BSCex token, and their this new ZD token. The total market cap of all that is, I don't know what it is. Just the market cap of the tokens that they're giving out for free in these yield farms. I'm sure they can, you know, if this was just a Photoshop image, then I'm pretty sure they can get this on the go, because this image is from like a month ago, so I'm like wondering where is it. But also, I'm not a developer, and what I would say is that developers work their asses off, and what happens behind the scenes is an absolute lot of work. It's a boatload of work, and you know, basically, I tip my hat to all developers who work hard on you know um, solutions. So we're getting our Z seed, confirm our swap. Apes don't care if the APY doesn't show, because they're expecting that that APY is going to be like 1,000,000% a year, and ho 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 ho, woo, you know, and uh, I guess that's the whole point of these videos. This video series is like kind of slowly kind of de-evolve from a kind of researcher and educator to someone who just doesn't care and it's just going to do it. So the transaction bounced. So hopefully it works this time. And we can just get through this content. Kind of rotted. I was talking for like half an hour or something, and then turn around and it's like, oh, nope, you didn't even hit record. So the only person I can blame is myself, to be honest. So here we are, waiting for confirmations. So this one, as I said, it's interesting. They got 4 different, and it failed again. So it doesn't really want me to buy Z seed, I guess. So let's just buy ZD token, I guess. Boom. And we're buying ZD. All right. So while it kind of looking like this with these 3 tokens that they've released, um, Doesn't mean it won't go up. And from my experience in the trenches of like the degenerate tunnels of Uniswap from back in the day, um, yeah, see, it doesn't even wanna do it. So I don't know if the exchange is overloaded right now. I don't know if the token price keeps changing uh, too quickly. I'll probably put up the slippage this time and see if we can actually buy it. Slippage is interesting because can you even change the slippage up here? Let's go 3%. Huh? So like it keeps failing, and yeah, like I'm not. Oh, finally got the USDT. Okay, now, now it's on. All right, let's go. You know, when the ape gets money, the ape can just do things, and the ape can ape. The ape needs ape funds to be able to ape, but if they ape properly, they have more ape funds that they can ape more and think less. I think that it's something to do with the psychology. It's like one person is like hyper focused on all the technical details in the meme from the beginning of the previous video, or was it this video? I don't know. I'm really tired actually, but I guess the point is there's an element I feel when when you're in crypto, there's a disconnect I find with a lot of people, and I found it with myself too, is that when you have gotten some gains in crypto, there's this kind of, it has a real world value that you see, but some of these gains, they're just sitting in a wallet, and it's like Monopoly play money or something. Like when I've done it in the past, I've made transactions, and then after I think about what I've done, and I'm like, did I just send like 2,000 USD to something that I was almost sure was a scam? Like, what? Like, it doesn't make sense. And when I think about it, I'm like, man, I'm like a conservative person. I invest conservatively. What did I just do? And um, I think there's a psychology behind it when there's some sort of disconnect. So I think the sort of the ape mind, um, it's you know, I kind of understand it a bit because it's easy to have a bit of disconnect with kind of crypto value and real world value sometimes, and also when it comes to social momentum and stuff, like I don't think that should be discounted by anyone who's actually like paying attention and looking for opportunities and stuff. Uh, the technical base for any of this stuff, I think, is quite significant. But then, you know, I think you can't discount social momentum, essentially. So yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on here. It's thinking a lot at the current moment. I'm gonna swap for some ZD. I don't know. Almost, I feel like I might have made a transaction twice there because I thought I had 3.1 BNB tokens. But the thing with apes is apes don't need to think about any of this stuff. Um, uh, so what we were hoping to go for this one was what I was hoping for. So, and we got that confirmed finally. So if we go up here, we go add liquidity, and we're gonna go add liquidity, and we're gonna pick. I'll just let it load. Because the countdown clock just ended, and while I am not entering at the first second like I was planning, I am entering at the, very shortly behind the first second. So we're putting in 204 this, and then whenever this, partially it could be my computer, partially it could be any number of things. So it looks like ZD token is just going very high right now. So I'm going to just supply. That's what I would think, because so has that token just doubled in value? And I don't know, maybe my math is not right. Oh, maybe I bought it twice and that was the reason. That would make more sense. But apes are not supposed to think, so I should stop doing that. So we got our pending transaction here. And just a reminder, this is not financial advice, okay? This is like uh, when investing from a mindset of just not thinking, I'm going to tell you right now, from personal experience, you're going to lose more often than you're going to win. Now, your couple wins might be very good because, high risk, high reward. And so those wins offset might offset your losses. But I'm going to say you're going to end up with like uh, when you're just going into whatever, and get in early and not do any research, what's going to happen is, uh, 75, 80, 90% of your time, even maybe 100% of the time for multiple ones in a row, you're going to get rugged, you're going to lose your money, liquidity is going to get pulled, someone's going to, they're pumping it and then they just dump on you, and you're left holding these useless souvenir tokens, which you spent something that's kind of good, and had some value, some real value, for a bag of bricks. And your hope is that your when it pans out, is the benefit from that is gonna be better than all the losses from like the rugs and the scams and stuff. So what I'm saying is this is a dangerous game, and I'm not saying that these guys are a scam or anything. I'm just saying, aping in is a dangerous game. So, like, for real, this is not financial advice. I just, a lot of people on Binance Smart Chain, I decided to just go through the ecosystem, and then I just thought, hey, what about an APE IN series? Because I feel like there is a place for this in the blockchain space for, the degenerate kind of side of things. And I think Binance Smart Chain is like the perfect place for this, and this where all these scams and stuff are going and where the apes are going, and so why not do a series on it? I went at one point and dipped my toes in it and did a full deep dive, and I came out with a sour taste on my tongue, feeling like I'd been violated. But the reality was I violated myself. Okay? As if you're like, oh, those scammers scammed me, and yeah, I hate scammers too. But like if you go and doing the dumb investing, and then you're like, hey, I got rugged. Those guys are jerks. Well, yeah, they're jerks, but you're also an idiot because like you totally had it coming. So you're right. What I'm doing is not financial advice. That's the point. That's the point. Okay. So anyway, whatever's going on over here, I have no idea. But we got our liquidity pool tokens now. Do we? Yeah, we got our liquidity pool tokens. So I'm going to go here. Don't even have an APY, but it doesn't even matter because apes, it doesn't matter to apes. Uh, Apes just assume that that they're getting 5,000% APY. So, you know, we're just going through the motions here. We're putting our KKLP tokens in, and yeah, just get through the content here. This is going to be another video that's over an hour. I got to start paring my content down to a more sensible length, because it's just, you know, why do I have videos that are so long? because they just talk and talk and talk. It's a bit ridiculous. And what I'll say is, I apologize for anyone who's just like, oh man, I just want to get to the tutorial. Uh, what I'm planning on doing in the not too distant future is taking some of my videos one by one and getting an editor. It's just, like I'm not like made of money and I'm busy just making these videos, but or not so much me, but it's a crypto society, and like we take some of the videos that I've made or other members make, and basically make a like take the contents of the video and like shorten it significantly and make just like a little quick like 2 minute like video with a bit of like music and then just like text saying with arrows being like bing bing bing, like you press this button, you connect the wallet, you do this, you do that, you wait, and that's how you do it. These long form videos is there's a lot more about the how and not just the why and the the mechanics behind it, the reasoning behind it, the philosophy behind it, the technology, who's doing it. I like to cover those kinds of things, um, and give the options for kind of do your own research and whatnot. So anyway, my tokens are staked. Um, if I come back here, 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 yeah. So here, I go back here and what is going on? This should I should like see something. Well, whatever. I got a 0.1% share of a pool that I don't even know what the APY is, and I think I've been successful in they got the base token for this, and then you got this token which I don't know what the value is, but then they got this one which is another one which I don't even know what the value of this is, and then the three triangle shaped tokens, and I don't know, man. But that's the kind of stuff that apes like. So I don't know. hopefully it's turned out. I think the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do a deep dive on just pancake swap and just going through, just having some fun in there. And I think what else I'm going to do is I want to cover Venus, because Venus is actually a sick project. It's one of a kind of small selection of projects that are actually like I actually think it's pretty sick. Um, So I'm going to do a deep dive into Venus. I'm going to do a deep dive into Pancake Swap, and I want to cover Absorber because I looked at it briefly and it looked pretty interesting. But anyway, with that, yeah, this Borg Brain signing out. That's about it. Uh, yeah, I'm out. Peace.